Can you feel it brewing beneath the roar of Ford Field, that quiet storm of anticipation that's about to shake Detroit to its core? Has the burden of doubt and endless what-ifs finally found its thread of hope ready to be pulled? Could this be the exact moment when the Lions rewrite their destiny, when the lingering shadows of past disappointments start to fade in the glaring light of a new chapter? Mash that like button and drop your belief in the comments if you're ready for the Lions to flip the script. Because what I'm about to share is not just another rumor, it's the pulse of a city holding its breath. Insiders have been whispering about a seismic shift, a move so pivotal that the foundations of this defense could soon be sealed in ironclad loyalty. Shockwaves have rippled through the front office chatter, conversations veiled in secrecy, but electrified with urgency, the kind that signal a turning point. Whispers have turned into murmurs, then looks, and now we wait, knowing that something monumental is poised to explode onto the scene before week 1. And if this rumor holds true, the NFC North, with all its bruisers and bragging rights, may never recover from the resurgence that's quietly, stubbornly taking shape out of Detroit's grit and struggle. The name behind this wildfire of anticipation? None other than Alex Anzalone, the heart and soul of our defense. The relentless force who's been wearing the Lions' passion on his sleeve since day one. This isn't just a contract negotiation. This is a reaffirmation of what the Lions stand for, a bond woven through sweat, grit, and an unbreakable will to claw our way back from the depths of near misses and no-so-glorious rebuilds. Alex Anzalone represents more than tackles and stats. He embodies that fighting spirit that was born in the echoes of 57's defensive roar that almost shook the NFL to its core. That hunger forged in the fires of heartbreaking playoff losses, where victory was just out of reach, just beyond our grasp. Remember those gut-wrenching near misses when the noise of the crowd silenced into a collective sigh? This deal, this re-signing, could mark the final piece that snaps this squad into a contender, a team that finally channels decades of heartache into a relentless chase of glory. Imagine a locker room where Anzalone's leadership doesn't just stabilize the defense, but sparks a chain reaction, the kind that turns Ford Field into a fortress, where the air crackles with the roar of a Lions team on the verge of something historic. But what if this signing goes beyond just bolts and contracts? What if it cracks wide open the chemistry we've been watching build under Dan Campbell's fierce guidance? Could this be the ignition for the fiercest playoff run the Motor City has witnessed since the days when Barry Sanders danced through defenses with the grace of a tribune of Detroit's hope? The stakes are sky high. Picture this: Anzalone commanding the defense with a mix of veteran savvy and raw passion, mentoring the younger Lions charging with untamed fire, setting a tone so fierce that opponents quiver before the snap. And what if, just what if, this domino falls not tomorrow but right now, setting off a cascade that makes this offseason the wildest, most electrifying chapter in Lions history? No more whispers in the shadows, just the blaring reality of a team ready to roar, ready to shatter the stillness with a defiant cry that echoes beyond the Motor City. The clock ticks, the buzz grows louder, and all eyes are locked on that final signature that turns hope into hallmarks of a Lions' future forged in sweat and certainty. The city's waiting. We're all waiting. Could this be the year that Anzalone's name becomes synonymous with the rebirth of a Lions dynasty? The tension hangs thick. This moment isn't just a story. It's the heartbeat of Detroit itself, pulsing stronger than ever before. Raise your voices, Detroit, because the Lions aren't just prowling in the shadows. Anymore, they're about to unleash a roar so loud it'll drown out a decade of doubt and disappointment. Behind the scenes, the tension inside this locker room is thickening. A knot of raw nerves and fierce determination twisting tighter with every practice, every glance, every play drawn up under Dan Campbell's hawk-eye gaze. The NFC North rivals Minnesota's smug smile, Green Bay's icy confidence, Chicago's desperate scrambles can almost taste the shifting winds. Those undercurrents that whisper, Detroit's hungry, Detroit's dangerous. The front office isn't turning a blind eye anymore. They know this moment is crucible or collapse, and the quiet urgency of contract talks with Anzalone crackles like static electricity ready to ignite. Remember when every Lions season felt cursed, like the 0-16 nightmare of 2008 when hope went extinct under the weight of failure? Or those moments seared into our souls, Dan Orlovsky's freak safety that crushed the Cinderella run, Calvin Johnson's retirement shaking the very core of our offense, Barry Sanders' bittersweet exit that left a hole in our hearts, Jim Caldwell's firing after a glimpse of playoff promise only to plunge us back into limbo? Even the heartbreak of wild card collapses and last season's fierce playoff push that ended just shy of triumph, all that history fuels this yearning to rise. 2. Rewrite our narrative. It's not just a season. It's a vendetta against a past steeped in close calls and squandered chances. A battle cry against the ghosts lurking in the rafters of Ford Field. Anzalone's potential re-signing is more than ink on paper. It's a fuse lit beneath a powder keg, a statement that the Lions are done settling, done fading into afterthoughts. This choice echoes decades of warriors who wore these colors with pride but never got their due. A chance for the defense to morph into an unbreakable wall, led by a man who bleeds Lions blue and silver. Picture the locker room chemistry, where veterans clash and converge under Anzalone's steel resolve. Young blood surging with fresh fire. The defensive line morphing into a pack of relentless predators primed to devour any offense foolish enough to challenge them. And consider Dan Campbell, the fiery pulpit preacher who preaches grit and reality, his coaching philosophy seething through every snap, igniting a team that refuses to be the league's punching bag anymore. The pressure is titanic. The stakes monumental as Detroit's blue-collar heartbeat pounds louder with each passing day, the buzz growing into a roar that could shake the very foundations of the NFC North. But here's where the narrative knifes deep the rivals are watching, strategizing, panicking. Could their scouting report start with a single name, Alex Anzalone, and shudder at the thought of facing a defense reanimated by his tenacity? How many sleeper plays will be shattered by his instincts? How many drives will collapse under his command? History has shackled the Lions, but what if this moment unlocks their chains? What if, as the ink dries on Anzalone's new deal, a tidal wave of momentum sweeps across Ford Field that no other team in the division sees coming? The ghosts of Barry's missed rings, Calvin's untimely retirement, and the titanic wreckage of that 0-16 season all seem poised on the brink of being exorcised, replaced with the roar of a pack on the prowl, a team thirsting for redemption, for victory. The city holds its breath. The fans clutch their hope like a lifeline, eyes fixed on a horizon thick with possibility and threat. Because this isn't just about one signing. It's about a seismic eruption in Motor City, a signal. Flares shot high into the night sky that Detroit is back, bloodied but unbowed, ready to charge. So ask yourself, when that final signature hits the ledger, when Anzalone steps on the Ford Field wearing that Lions emblem with renewed pride, will that be the spark that shatters decades of heartbreak? Will this be the ignition that turns this Detroit team into an unstoppable force, the nightmare that sends rival QBs scrambling and dividing their playbook in panic? Or is this just another tantalizing pregame hiss before the storm, a flicker of hope that might yet flicker out? Whatever happens next, Detroit is listening, and the countdown to chaos, glory, and gritty rebirth has already begun.